Am I the a-hole for cutting ties with my aunt after she told my parents about a secret I shared with her? I'm Maggie, 27 female, and I live in Asheville, North Carolina. My family is big on staying close, lots of family dinners, weekend trips, and constant group chats. My Aunt Carla, 54 female, my mom's older sister, has always been like a second mom to me. Growing up, she was the one I went to when I couldn't talk to my parents. She had this way of making me feel heard without judging me, so I trusted her with some of the biggest things in my life. Until now. Here's the thing, I'm bisexual. I've known for years, but I only started coming out to people in the last year or so. My friends know, my brother knows, and my partner, Brooke 28F, knows obviously. But I hadn't told my parents yet because, well, they're complicated. My mom is super religious, and my dad, while not as openly critical, tends to go along with whatever my mom says. I knew telling them would lead to drama, and honestly, I wasn't ready to deal with it. About a month ago, I decided to tell Carla. She's always been the cool aunt, and I thought she'd be supportive. We were having coffee at her house, just the two of us, when I brought it up. Carla, I said, my hand shaking as I held my mug. I need to tell you something, but you can't tell anyone. Not even mom and dad. She raised an eyebrow. Of course, honey. You know I'm a vault. I took a deep breath. I'm bisexual. I've been dating Brooke for the past 8 months. For a moment, she just stared at me, and I panicked, thinking I'd made a huge mistake. But then she smiled and said, "Oh, Maggie. Thank you for telling me, I'm so proud of you." Her reaction was such a relief that I felt tears in my eyes. We talked for another hour, and she asked thoughtful questions about Brooke and how I was feeling about everything. I left her house feeling lighter than I had in months. Fast forward 2 weeks. I was at my parents' house for dinner when my mom dropped the bombshell. "So, Carla told us about your situation," she said, her voice tight. "Is there something you'd like to share?" I froze. "What are you talking about?" "You know exactly what I'm talking about," she snapped. "Carla told us you're involved with a woman." My stomach dropped. I couldn't believe it. Carla, the person I trusted most in my family, had betrayed me. "Mom, I was going to tell you when I was ready," I said, trying to stay calm. "But yes, I'm bisexual, and I'm dating Brooke." My mom's face went red. "Maggie, this isn't right. You were raised better than this." My dad just sat there, looking uncomfortable but not saying anything. I stood up, my chair scraping loudly against the floor. "I can't do this right now. I'm leaving." "Don't walk away from me," my mom called as I grabbed my bag. "We need to talk about this." "Not tonight," I said, slamming the door behind me. As soon as I got home, I called Carla. She answered on the first ring. "Maggie," she said, sounding hesitant. "I was just about to call you." "Don't," I snapped. "Why the hell would you tell my parents about me? I trusted you." "I didn't mean to hurt you," she said quickly. "Your mom was asking if you were seeing anyone, and I slipped. It wasn't intentional." "You slipped?" I said, my voice rising. "That's not something you just slip about, Carla. I specifically told you not to tell anyone." "I know," she said, sounding genuinely upset. "But Maggie, they're your parents. They deserve to know." "No, Carla. I deserve to decide when and how I tell them. That was my choice to make, not yours." There was a long silence before she said, "I'm sorry, Maggie, I really am. I thought I was helping." "Well, you weren't," I said. "You've made everything so much worse." Since that night, things have been tense, to say the least. My mom has been sending me passive-aggressive texts about how she's praying for me and hoping I'll find the right path. My dad tried to call me once, but I let it go to voicemail. And Carla? She keeps texting and calling, apologizing and asking to meet up so we can talk. I haven't responded to any of her messages. Honestly, I don't know if I can forgive her. She broke my trust in the worst way, and now I feel like I've lost one of the most important people in my life. On the other hand, my brother, James 30M, has been amazing. He called me the day after everything went down and said, "Mom's being ridiculous. I've got your back, no matter what." He even invited Brooke and me over for dinner to get away from the drama. So, Reddit, here's where I'm stuck. My family is pressuring me to forgive Carla and move on, but I don't know if I can. She betrayed me, plain and simple. But part of me wonders if I'm being too harsh. She did apologize, and maybe she genuinely thought she was doing the right thing. Am I the a-hole for cutting ties with her? Or am I justified in needing space after what she did? I'm really struggling to figure out what to do, and I'd love to hear your thoughts.